The Qi10 project has been interesting because we had already established the carbon face platform. You know, when I first joined TaylorMade way back in the day, we actually had this idea that eventually carbon would come. But once we started refining it and really landing on the final recipe of the face, and the results started coming in, we all got really excited because we knew that then this was going to be our runway forward.
At TaylorMade, we kind of carve our own path, right? You think about the technologies and some of the breakthrough innovations we've had over time between movable weight technology and adjustable loft sleeves and carbon faces and now inertia. Like this quest for inertia is obviously a massive deal, but this idea of doing that and still gathering the speed along the way. Inertia means forgiveness, essentially. It means that you're going to hit better shots when you have more of it.
That sounded really nicely struck.
Yeah.
The new line of woods is called the Qi10 series. This one is the Qi10 Max. It's our 10,000 inertia driver. It is built for incredible forgiveness and stability, but with TaylorMade speed. So you're going to see that carbon face technology obviously still in the product, but a lot of brand new technology in this club to really deliver that performance that has never been seen before.
Well, I mean, anytime you hit a toe shot, you feel a little bit in your hands, just slight rotation or whatever. Further out on the toe, the more you're going to feel. But yeah, I mean, I think all of the inertia sort of resists a little bit of that, so you get a little bit less of it. This year in particular, and the years kind of building up to making this driver, it felt a little bit different because it wasn't just about making a little improvement. We actually set ourselves up for a goal that was, at the time, seemed nearly impossible, and that was to hit 10,000 inertia without sacrificing all the things that make a great driver, the playability, the spin, the speed. And so that's what was unique about here, is for us to go after this thing that seemed impossible and stretch towards the end and all the things that we were doing along the way to get to that 10,000 and create this great driver. So there's the measurement sort of heel to toe and then high to low. And in the case of 10,000 inertia, that's the addition of those two measurements.
It's sort of the culmination of optimizing all of those variables, right? So if you can really get all of your heel toe MOI and your effectiveness of resisting that twisting heel toe and up down on the face, you're going to end up at a number around 10,000. And so the goal was always to get there because it felt like kind of our Mount Everest of performance.
Forgiveness has become more than just a feeling now. You can actually quantify it. There's a number that you can put behind it. In our case, 10K.
So inertia in a golf club is this idea that when a golf ball, or when you strike the golf ball off center, it resists rotation or twisting, right? So let's say you hit a ball in the toe of the driver or any golf club, it wants to rotate away from that. So it's going to have, here's the face of the club, it's going to rotate away from you. The more MOI, the more inertia it has, the more it resists that twisting motion. And there's several benefits of not having that twisting motion happening.
And that's really at the heart of what we're doing. We want to help golfers of all abilities play better. And so from the Qi10 Max, the 10,000 inertia, this is something that honestly the majority of golfers could really benefit from, because the reality is golfers mishit it more than a professional does. And so they should value what this product delivers, which is great speed, incredible forgiveness. Now it's a bigger head, easier to look at, easier to get away with maybe those misses.
So moment of inertia when it comes to like a real life example is like the figure skater on the ice. So the figure skater, they start with their arms out, they're spinning slowly because their inertia is great because their mass is moved away from their body. As they bring their arms closer, their inertia decreases. They still have the same amount of energy, but because they have lower inertia, they spin faster.
So I'm just coming over there to look at it. But I got to hit on the toe first. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Well, I hit them both pretty far off the toe, which is good. And yeah, there's definitely a lot more twist in the Stealth than there is in the Qi10 Max. Because I mean, both balls are virtually hit. This one maybe a touch higher on the face, but they're pretty equidistant in terms of how far they are. Like, I can't really hit it solid and hit it more off the toe. And so this is pretty much the maxed out version of like as bad as you could get. And I mean, the face holds in there pretty good.
3, 2, 1, action.
Golf is a game of misses, right? So even when you're not on top of your game at all times, you still want a club that performs the best for you. And as I've tested the Qi10, I've seen the dispersion of it really minimize, and I've seen it come back to where I really want it to, even if I've mishit it.
You know, golfers don't really realize what's happening at impact. It's just a split-second thing, and there's a bunch of energy that's going into it. There's a lot of rotation. And even for a tour player, when they see that, it's kind of crazy. You know, they're like, oh, that's happening when I'm hitting the ball. And then obviously seeing it with the Max product, with the Qi10 Max, it's such a different experience. And again, you can feel it a little bit in your hands, but when you see the head moving like that, it's game-changing.
To have hit that one off the toe and have the face not slide open as much is definitely a great thing. You know, your mishits are going to be a lot tighter, the dispersion's going to be a lot better, your misses are going to be a lot smaller, so that's really exciting.
If you see a ball hit just a little bit off center and you see the club rotate, and you know, you can already kind of make your own conclusions of like, oh, that's, you know, going to lose a little ball speed, or that's going to go a little bit offline, and you know, I think it's just, I don't know, illuminating, so to speak, to see it actually happen in such slow-mo, and it's pretty cool.
I'd say that's like, you know, such a difference. You're watching that club give a little and then opening. This one, just like it hits, stays a bit solid and just holds itself more. They were both very toe strike. Whoever's hit it must be terrible.
We can't sacrifice these other things that are very important to having a great performing driver. You have to have the ball speed. You have to have the look, the feel, the sound, the durability. There's so many aspects to making the best driver, the fastest and most forgiving driver. And so, you know, we may focus on one variable as it relates to trying to let golfers understand, you know, one of the biggest benefits of this club, but there's so many other things that we are balancing to get this right.
In creating Qi10, we obviously want to maintain what TaylorMade is known for. We have an incredible brand, incredible following, incredible trust from golfers about what our products do, and we want to maintain that aspect of it. And whether that means to get the clubs played at the highest level with Rory and Scottie Scheffler, etc., or if it means just having your top amateurs or good club players playing our product, we need to have that validation, of course, in our products. And that's not going to go away. We're going to still focus on making the best clubs for those players. We're still going to focus on using the best materials and the best finishing and making these clubs very high quality. We're just going to add this other element of incredible forgiveness and this 10K idea. And that's sort of, again, when you have a platform like what we have with the carbon face, carbon crown, carbon ring, sole panels, like all this composite material in the club, it gives you that flexibility to do a lot of different things with it.
You know, what we do every day and what we're going after, there's often healthy tension. It's healthy tension because, like, it's not easy. It's not easy to go in uncharted territory. If you're just doing something and building off of somebody else, then, you know, they've kind of carved a path for you. But for us, you know, we're going to go into these areas that, like, you know, where the answers aren't exactly clear. And to do that, you have to be relentless. And that's what I think our team is. We're relentless at going after it. We believe in where we're going, and then we're not going to give up until we get there.
I barely caught that in the toe, and it just faded the tiniest bit. It was really good.
Yeah, I think
Nice
that Max
there.
Driver is perfect for you.
We're doing the work of gathering the nerdy scientific data and turning it into information that's useful for normal conversation.
When we sound test, we will always start with a range ball. So we want to understand what our drivers are going to sound like with a variety of golf balls.
Obviously, like I was saying, I never really go full speed on the course, but knowing that I can sustain it like 190, 193 over like a period of time,
Yep.
and knowing the driver's going to be able to handle it,
Yep.
like that's huge.